Good afternoon everybody and welcome to Vibe Tribe, 130 High Street ride from Iceland towards the traffic lights opposite Outland. Thank you very much to Lynn, who is here videoing this event for us. Today is our opening day. The shop is spiritual, holistic, healing. It will develop over time. We shall have workshops, events. Go to Facebook page, Vibe Tribe IOW for Isle of Wight, to stay up to date with what we're doing. Our very special guest today has been Jan Harper Wale, and she is here to speak to us about Wihtwara, a book about the Longstone. And I will hand you over to Jan.
Hello everybody. I wanted to just talk to you about the first in a trilogy of historical novels. It's taken years of research to reach an understanding about a forgotten race of people who lived on the island back in the 1st and 2nd centuries through to 686 AD. They were a wonderful race of people. They were very spiritual, they were very nature-based, they were pagan. And they came from the Cimbric Peninsula, which is lands from Denmark to Holland to Frisia. And they belonged to a confederacy of 7 tribes, of which the Yudosi, which is the real name for the Jutes, the Angli, and some Saxons. And they came over to this country because their land was very difficult to farm and they wanted to find a new life. And they found that new life in 3 particular places. One was in Kent, the other in the Meon Valley, and the third one, the most special to us, is here on the Isle of Wight. The ancient name of the island was called Wichtland, and it means Isle of Spirits. And the people who lived here, who were very nature-based and spiritual, were called the Wihtwara, which means people of the spirit. They understood how sacred and special this island is, and they cared for it because they were so close to Mother Nature. They had rituals and ceremonies that they did to make sure their harvests became good. And what happened to them created a vacuum in the history of the island, because in 686 AD, by a group of fundamental, and I will emphasize fundamental Christians, not Gnostic Christians, decided that the pagan people should actually be done away with. And in 686 AD there was a huge army of warriors came over that were from Wessex, led by Wihtwara, who was a mercenary, and spurred on by a bishop called Wilfrid, and they killed everybody on the island. And so that left a huge gap, and they filled it with Christian people from the mainland. So in researching as I did and found new facts about who these lovely people really were and the culture, the rich culture they had, because their craft was absolutely superb. They had trade links with Byzantium, they had crafts from Antioch, and so we lost a huge heritage when they were all killed. And I want to put that back. I want people on the island to know and to realise that we have ancestors that deserve to be honoured. So this is the first book in the Wihtwara. It's a very spiritually based book. It's about how they practice their religion, very feminine based. And so I'm just going to read just a small part of it, which is called, in our words, the field remedy. It's how they went out to the field to honour Nethos, to honour the gods and goddesses, to ask them for a rich harvest. And so this is spoken by Jan Wale, who is the main character in the book. She's a priestess, And here we're describing how she goes out to the field at twilight, because they did all their ceremonies at twilight, because during the day they were busy ploughing the fields and looking after the land. And so here she is. Suddenly I felt a swish over my head. I looked to see a white owl, large and fully grown, glide silently over us all. I gasped, feeling so honoured to have such the brush of owl feather, and all our kin were hushed as it flew gracefully to alight on a branch on the huge beet trees that lined the hemp field, because they planted hemp in those days. I came over to the plough and bent over the borehole. I placed a small and precious amount of frankincense from Antioch, or so I was told by our Angli trader. Over that went our fennel seed and soap made from ash and a pinch of salt, of which we had ample. On top went the seed, and I called out, Esse ethon modor, Grenfenthe el fedor ethriton. Esseria Wixindria und Wirandra, et Sindria und Elendra, Kefta Skira hes Westmar, und Ella Eathan Westmar gion him Ethwodan, and his Dreton Thunos Sune Mona Inge Nethos, the und Valhallasing, the Israoth, si Githriod, Wioth Eldra Fiona Gewan, and here si Gebron, Wioth Eldra Belwa Githwilish. And that is ancient Saxon. Esse, Mother of Earth, may the All-Father, the Eternal Lord, grant you fields flourishing and bountiful, fruitful and sustaining, abundance of bright millet harvests, of broad barley harvests, of white wheat harvests, and all harvests of the earth. Grant him Woden and his gods Thunor, Thrig, Suni, Mona, Ing, and Nethos, in Valhalla that his farm be kept from every foe and guarded from every harmful thing.